What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster back with another extraordinary announcement. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me give you a rundown. Basically, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here's how it works. Anchor lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to the most popular listening platforms, including Spotify, with a single tap. Anchor is also the only place you can publish video podcasts to Spotify. Damn, video podcasts for real? With Anchor, creators can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Now look, man, that's just a part of the script. Like, I ain't mean to say totally out loud, but it is free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.com to get started.
So, all right, guys, we got to get this one right. On three, we're going to say, welcome back to Extraordinary Thoughts for On Their Mind. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to Extraordinary Mind.
And we back.
That'll work right there.
Yeah.
And we back. And we
Yeah.
back. And we back. And we
Y'all did y'all best. And that's all that matters.
Damn, it's been a rough week. Oh my God, man. I was scrolling through Instagram and I just really want to just say, like, one of my favorite things about Instagram is the feature of the archives. Like, I love the archive feature and being able to go back in a moment of time within your life. You see what I'm saying? And just see where you were at. Man, I love that. I love that because they always say like a picture says 1,000 words. And I always wondered what it meant. Like, like when someone sees it, they could put, there's 1,000 words of stories that they could put together or assumptions or, just theories from the viewer. But if you really look at it, the picture is telling 1,000 words from the person that took it and the person that's in it. Like, have you ever just looked at a picture and captured and revisit that moment within history? Like, you saw a picture of yourself, and as everyone else is in awe of that moment, you stand back and you sit to yourself and you say, like, damn, like, I remember when I was going through that. Like, I remember when I thought that I wouldn't even get to this moment. Like, this is such a spectacular moment within my life because I thought that I wasn't going to get to it. Or like damn, like, this outfit was so nice. I'm glad I was able to capture a picture because I felt like this was just the worst day for me. I love being able to revisit those moments, whether it's a couple of days, whether it's a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years. Just recently, I actually saw, oh shit, what's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm your host, Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of Extraordinary Thoughts for the Ordinary Mind. Anyways, I was looking at an archive of me in August of 2018. In August of 2018, for those who don't really know, that was the pivoting point. I hope I said that right. That was the point right before I started speaking. That was right before I became Meech Speaks. And before that, I was just a Marine, 15, 16, 17, 18. I mean, my entire military career, to be honest with you, I was just a Marine. No other aspirations, nothing else, just hoping that I would make it to 20 years. And I really just want to take a moment, man, because I don't know who need to hear this, but as we go into this month, I know it's a couple of people that's stressed out about things that they just can't control. You stressed out about things that you just can't control. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but that shit's out of your hands. Like, that's in God's hands. Like, you really need to mind your own business. And 2018, I really wish I would have gave myself that type of advice. Like, this stuff is out of God's hands. I mean, this stuff is in God's hands. Like you really have no control in the things that you're doing right now. Like, you had control in the beginning, you have control in how you react, but right now, as the process works itself out, you have no control in that. Like, I really wish I would have just, damn, I'm so happy I didn't kill myself back then. Fuck. Like, damn. Now I know that was a big That was a big bomb to drop on everybody. But at some point, there was just, I really just wanted to check out. Like, as I was trying to find my passion, as I was trying to find my purpose, as I was existing in life, I really just wanted to cease my existence. And there's no shame in me saying this right now. I don't feel ashamed in saying it. It took years to be able to finally get it off my chest. But to be honest with you, I just didn't see no point. You know, and I know somebody right now, they're going to reach out to me as they hear this episode and say, oh, well, you're important and everything. I know that. I know that now. Trust me, I get that now. But during those times when there was nobody else but me, I just didn't see it. And as I create this episode, I really want you to understand that, one thing that I've always hated is when people say that there's going to be better days. Like, trust me, I understand there's going to be better days. Like they say, like, you're going to get through this. Like, no shit, I'm going to get through this. Like, what you're saying to me is like telling me that, there's a Tuesday after a Monday. Like, no shit. Like, there's, don't worry, man. Like, Z comes after A, but what about the other fucking letters in the alphabet that I'm going to have to deal with? Like, that was the battle that I was really dealing with. Like when I would drive to work, I remember there was a time where there was a semi truck coming. I took my foot off the brake and I just slowly just watched it happen. And then I slammed back on the brakes and re-grabbed onto my life, And I say that because I don't, first off, let's not do the whole woe is me. Like, I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. But for those who are hearing this episode right now who just need a little bit more reinforcements within their life, you feel me? The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is always there. If you can't reach out to your family and friends, don't forget to grab a pen and paper and dial 1-800-273-8255. Once again, that's 1-800-273-8255. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I was just so happy that I didn't check out is because, life is like, to me, with all the character development that you experience within life, it's like a good TV show. And you're the main character. You have supporting characters that come in and out of your life. You have events that change the course of the series. But overall, you're the main character. And a lot of times, like, you see those series that start off slow and then they pick up traction. You know what I mean? Or you see those series where they have like that little slow point or that time of adversity and that uncertainty within the series. Like, if you decide to turn the TV off right then and there, you're going to miss a major point within the series. Like, if you decide to stop watching it right now, you're going to miss a major point within it. And I don't think people really understand that. Like, when you got like a passion, dream, purpose, and you going through it, you trying to make it work, and you constantly keep getting hit by failure. If you decide to walk away from it right now, that is the thing that you will be leaving with, is failure. Like, you're not going to be able to get the money back that you poured into it. You're not going to be able to get back the time that you poured into it. You're not going to get back all the things that you sacrificed. It does not. There's no refund on dreams and aspirations. There's no refund on that pursuit. So when I tell you that one of the things I'm so thankful that I continue to keep moving forward with is that if I would have died right then and there, like if I would have just decided to not do it anymore, I would have never learned to love myself. Like I never would have learned to love myself. And people always, despite popular belief, there was a time where I just did not love myself. Let me rephrase. I just didn't love who I was. I did not love that person. Everybody else was so captivated by my accomplishments and would find themselves uncomfortable when I would walk into a room because of my accolades. But to me, I just felt like I was just a piece of shit. Like, to me, I was unimpressed. Like, to me, I did not see the hype. People would compliment me and I would just feel so uncomfortable by it because deep down, I just was not comfortable with myself. And to see me now, you feel me? Like, to see me now, that's the crazy part. Loving myself. Let me rephrase, because there's still so much of me that I have not learned to love just yet. And there's still so much of me that I still want to love. But the parts of me that I'm learning to love and accept, I'm so proud of it. Like if I would have checked out right now, I would have never found the confidence that I had been searching for. Like I would have never found the confidence that I pour into my Marines. Like I would have never found the confidence that I pour into each episode. Like we always sit back and we saying like 2020 is a rough year. You see what I'm saying? Like 2020 is a rough year. But the thing that I've gained throughout this year is a newfound confidence. Like it's a certain level of confidence that I have acquired throughout all of this adversity. I would have never found the strength that I was looking for. Like it feels so good to finally learn how to pour into yourself when you've been pouring into someone else this entire time. Like you think it's a simple task, like, you know, the same way that you pour into somebody else is that you can pour into yourself. But the thing that you forget is that I don't know you, but I do know me. And the love that I'm giving you, I probably just feel like I don't deserve that. So I will say right now, as we continue with this episode, that the one thing that I'm just so thankful for, thankful for continuing on, is finding that new love for me, that new confidence for me. And if you're hearing this right now, the one thing that I want you to take away from this episode, if anything, is that if you check out right now, if you decide to stop pursuing your goals, if you decide to stop pursuing that change within, like if you listen to everybody who say that you're acting different, who's saying to you right now that your mindset different than everybody else, that is just not clicking, and everybody's trying to tell you to revert back to the old version of you because that's the version that they have access to you, you will regret it. You are going to regret it. And all of that time spent in becoming the version that you are right now, because this ain't even your final form. All of this growth, you feel me? You can't get it back. Like some of y'all don't understand that sometimes growth and change is like driving across country. It is going to take more than a day to get there. But if you decide to go back, even though you got halfway there, you ain't going to be able to get that gas back. You're not going to be able to get that time back, all that money back. So if you're going to continue to move forward, continue to move forward. I think the next thing that I'm just so happy that I was able to witness, or I was able to see, was that if I would have just walked away from all of this, just checked out of life, I would have never found my passion. And you know what? Let me rephrase. It's not that I had found it. I would have never acknowledged it. My passion had always been there. My gift had always been there. But the thing is that for years I had spent so much of my time looking for a treasure that could never be found. For years I was looking and pouring into something that wasn't pouring back into me, but the whole time my dream was being malnourished. And when I finally realized it, you see what I'm saying? Like there was such a big shift. Like this is why I tell people to follow your passions. Because when you follow your passions, there's just something about you that you gonna give off that's just different than everybody else. Like I went from going to work and showing up early just to put my head on the steering wheel to getting out my car, taking care of my business just so I can go back and go take care of some other business that I'm really passionate about. You see what I'm saying? Like ain't nothing, man, if I would have killed my damn self, I probably would never even been this. Like you would have never got a chance to see the author. Like we would have never gotten a chance to see the podcaster. Like if I would have never found a way to channel my pain and negative emotions, like where would I be? And this is the lesson that I really want you to take from this one right here. Imagine going to the store and you see an outfit and you're just like, I don't want it. A day later, you see that exact same outfit on somebody else and you say to yourself, like, damn, it does look good. I wish I would have went and got it. Imagine walking out of a movie theater just to find out that the movie got better. But if you would have just stayed, you would have noticed. You would have saw it. Imagine being at the casino and you decide to walk away, and on the dime that you walk away, that's when the jackpot hits. That's what it feels like. Like, we'll never know what it's like on the other side, but I imagine to see your timeline and find out that if you just would have endured just a couple of more years, if you would have endured a couple of more days, if you would have endured just a couple of more seconds, you would have finally hit the jackpot. Like, you always see those illustrations of the diamond in the dirt and the guy walking away, because if he just would have dug one more time, he would have finally got the treasure that he had been working so hard for. So it brings tears to my eyes. You feel me? Like, it really brings tears to my eyes to know that at some point I would have never been this person. It brings tears to my eyes to know that I would have never found what it means to be alive. It brings tears to my eyes to know that there's somebody right now that's willing to give up all of that time spent, and they'll never be the person that they've been desiring to be. And that person is just one more knock away. They one more dig away. They one more step away. If I would have checked out right now, I'd have never been Meech. I'd have never been happy. That passion that burns within me would have been put out in that exact moment right there. Next, and I kind of feel like this one, I'd have missed out. This is another reason why I'm happy that I just continue moving forward, because, dude, I would have missed out. Like, you ever seen that movie Coach Carter? And in Coach Carter, there's the part where I forget that guy's name, but he was like the Puerto Rican dude with the ponytail. And he had quit the team early in the movie. You feel me? And he got to see the team like engage, and he went back to the hood, and the team started receiving all the success and X, Y, and Z. And I imagine that's probably what it would have been like for me in purgatory. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see everybody else just living their best life and going through this one hell of a year, and you're left out. You're back on the bench because you decided that life was just too much for you and you decided to check out. Like, the shit just was too much, and now you missing out on some of the best years of your life. Like, everybody else is having a time of their lives, stressed out about what they're going to do, and you can't enjoy that. Like everybody else is witnessing a big point in which they are about to grow. Like, a lot of people don't understand how powerful 2020 is for everybody. And trust me, this one hell of a fucking year. This one hell of a year. But a lot of people don't realize how powerful this year is. Like, there's people that are really walking in their purpose and passions because they are pulled away from the mundane and the monotony of their lives. Like, there's people really, really finding themselves because they have to social distance themselves from everybody else. Like, I think to myself on that day when I really decided I was really going to do it, and to know that I probably would never had experienced the growth that I had been looking for so long, it just pains me. And I'm thankful that I was able to endure that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thankful that I was able to continue that. Lastly, and bear with me because I probably might get emotional, cry on air. If I would have did it, I'd have actually become my father. Like I would have abandoned my kids the same way that he abandoned us. And let me rephrase, I would have abandoned my kids in a similar fashion that he would have abandoned us. Because for those who don't understand how addiction works, it's not that, they just leave and come in and out of your life. It's the big issue with that is that they're slowly killing themselves, and you get to witness them slowly kill themselves. And I imagine, because when this happened, I had kids. They say, oh, think about your kids, you think about what you're living for. You got to find something to live for. But the thing is that when you want to end the life that you currently are in, those things don't really matter. And I say that they don't matter. They don't matter enough for you to continue to keep moving forward. Because I'm telling you, one thing that we forget is that we know each other. We know how to talk to each other, not each other. We know how to talk to ourselves. We know exactly what to say. We know exactly how to say it. I remember in those moments, I could persuade myself and say things like, they would be better without me. They're young. They would forget this. They won't miss me. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you never know what somebody is going through. And I really need you to understand right now that I don't know who needs to hear this, but you never know who you really are inspiring. Like, I don't think somebody really understands that somebody that you will never meet a day in your life, they won't never come up to you. They won't never speak to you, but they will secretly watch you over and over and over and over. And they really just sending nothing but positive vibrations. They really just hoping for you to make it through because you are the motivation and inspiration that they need to continue to move forward. You really don't know who you impacting. And although like you think that you mean nothing, you actually mean the world to somebody. Like people always get upset, when they and ask God when they face some form of adversity, God, why is this happening to me? Why me? I don't think you really understand, because if it was given to somebody else, they would fucking fold. Like if this adversity was weighed upon someone else, they would crumble upon the pressure. Like it's gotta happen to you. You the only one that's going to be able to tell this story. Let me rephrase this. You the only one that can endure this shit. You the only one. And I didn't understand that at that moment. And it took time for me to finally, when I started to tell my story, that these things had to happen. So that way I can be able to echo it to the masses. Like earlier I said that, I'm just a vessel that the universe speaks through. I'm serious by that. That I'm nothing more but a passageway that energy just comes back and forth through. But if I would have decided to check out then, who would have been able to tell the message? Like if I would have decided to check out then, the inspiration, the aspirations of who I was to somebody else, I would have cut off. Like, I sit back and I look at my kids and I don't think, and I say to myself, like, y'all just really don't understand the things that I'm really pioneering for y'all. Not changing, I'm pioneering, I'm creating. And I'm so happy that I was able to find myself again as I was lost. And as we come to a close to this episode, there's a couple of things I just really need you to take away. I really just need you to grab as you walk through this morning and take on this new day. I really just need you to understand this. Even if it ain't this extreme as your life, if you decide to walk away right now, imagine the things that you are giving up. That time with your family, so that way you said that you could have time with your family that you ain't gonna never be able to get back. All that energy you spent pouring into it, all that money you spent pouring into it, there ain't no refund on that. As you sit back and you say to yourself, like, why is this happening to me? I need you to understand that if it didn't happen to you, the story would never get told. Like if you've ever heard that saying, like, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that if it was done with somebody else, they would have crumbled and the story would have never been told. It had to happen to you because you're the vessel that needs to be told through. The love that you have longed for, I can assure you, you're about to find out how to love yourself. But if you check out right now, you will never know what it's like to love yourself. Continue to move forward. God damn, man. I'm just so happy I didn't kill myself. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Stay tuned Mondays and Fridays. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Meech Speaks. Once again, that's Meech Speaks. Meech is spelled MEECH. Don't forget to share this podcast, subscribe to this podcast, follow this podcast, pass this podcast to somebody, because this podcast was dedicated to helping everyone become a better version of themselves. Even though I don't know what that type of version is, I just know that you can be better. Lastly, Don't forget to grab your copy of The Extraordinary Thought from the Ordinary Mind, available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. I think there's an electrical copy. You know what it is. Stay hungry, stay motivated. I'm out.